you join us in our Freelander 2. And we have the glove box here. Notice there's no driving wheel here, because that will be wrong, so wrong, but we'll discuss that another time. Right, you may have seen one of these languishing in your car, and you think, whatever could this be? Now this one's particularly suspect, because it's got a little bit of gammy tape around it. Doesn't look very factory to me. And we're like, could be dodgy. And then when you open your glove box, it's sort of, it's sort of, if your glove box is like boing, 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 and there's no smoothness or slowness to the motion, it is your glove box damperification is gone. So I am going to tell you, I've become an expert in this in the last 2 minutes. So I'm going to share my 2 minutes of wisdom with you and show you what. So this brokeny bit here should look like, let's go over and look over here, George, on this fine step I have here. That should be like that, okay? And what you've got on the end here is you've got this little clip. We'll see how that comes in useful later. It's got a little hinge top, and then this bit sort of as a sort of motion. So I think that's what that is supposed to be. Now, these get broken a lot when you do your pollen filter, or if you read the forums, when the dealers do your pollen filter, because they have a habit of breaking them, and then they follow Roderick's rules where they deny. But it's quite easy to do yourself, so sometimes it's easier just to do it than kick off at the main dealer. So, right, so you'll need to get yourself one of those. We'll put those for sale on the website. They're not expensive. Now, while I was on the mission of glove box stuff, these are also available separately, and these form the bottom hinge bracket. So on your glove box, there's 2 hinge pins that locate in these, and then it rotates like that. These are handed. There's a left, so if you look there, you see how it's got this funny profile. The other one on the other side is a reflection of that. For some reason, I ordered 2, but I've got 2 the same. So it should be the other way round. That black plastic should look like that. Right, so we're going to show you where these go. We're going to show you where these go, and we're going to see if it makes a difference. I actually haven't fitted it yet. I've just worked it out. So, right, the lighting and the positioning is going to be a bit dodgy in there, so bear with me. It's a bit like the black old Calcutta in there. You know, black. We're just discussing black interiors, weren't we, George?
Yeah.
And they're sort of good on one hand, aren't they? Because they look all groovy, but they're not good on another hand. Right. So the glove box stops, and what stops it is there's 2 little rubber stops, one there and one there. And what you've got to do, if you come over me a bit here, George, you might be able to see down in that gap, and you have to push it that way, and then till this little rubbery bit is resting on this side. And we do the same on the other side. If we come in here, you might just be able to see in that, right? And then you just ease that gently there. You got that, George, and I'll just ease that one, and then slowly this will then sort of fall down. Now, depending how you do it, it may well fall off like that. So what you've got here, see this orange screw, I've coloured that orange. You can see the pin here, and this is the receptor there. So it'll probably fall off, and what we'll try and do is that other one near that other orange bolt, we'll slide it out. So we'll try and wriggle it and pull it. There we go. So let's have a look. This is the glove box assembly. These are your hinges. Now, they're not perfectly round. If you look at them, they've got like a funny little bite section out of them. And that's, I think, supposed to give it its degree of motion. I'm not quite sure if they've overcomplicated it with that. So they're both there. Right, let's throw that over there for a minute. And what you will notice here is this mount point is going to come in handy later, because this is where that little shock absorber damper, yeah, George, you grab the torch, that's probably better. That's where that's going to mount. But that looks okay. Mine's got a split in it. Well, it doesn't go all the way across, though, does it? It's got like a little, I think that's where that, so I don't know if that's broken, or, but anyway, it's going to hold. We're going to test it. We're going to see. I haven't quite worked out what this little bit here is for. I think that maybe that gives it its first stop point. It's a bit flimsy. I haven't quite worked out what that is. Who knows? Right, it's clearly something to do with some. Unless it does the switch. Unless it does the switch for the light. Don't know. Right. So if you want to change those little brackets, handily, a Torx T20 driver, you can go here. We can undo that screw, let me see if I can skillfully extract all that in one. Right, and what you've got there is that's the, and the right hand one, that's it, it's got the bit up to the right as you look at it there. Okay, there you go, let's make sure we get it in the light. And that's your screw there. And the bottom, if you look at the bottom, where my little finger is there, that square profile, when you refit it, it actually slots in at the bottom. You've got to slot it in and then put the screw in. So that locates the bottom and the screw locates the top. Right, like so. I think I've got it in. I'm trying to do it from a distance. Right, let's have a look. Is that holding? Does that look like the bottom's located on there?
Yeah.
George is crawling around in the footwell. He's doing a good job. Right, yeah. So that's how that fits in. So that's that one. And so if they're broken, now bear in mind they do have this uneven profile, but if there's whole chunks missing off them, if it won't hold your finger, you're missing something. Right. Now let's have a look. Right, now we're going to do this, George. Whoa, I think you're going to have to jump in. Right, let's rearrange ourselves. Right, so we're on the left-hand thing. So in line with this bolt that holds this left-hand hinge in, you'll probably have something like this left there. Okay, and basically, and you can move it around side to side. And if you look underneath, don't try to, because George is going to pin the footwell. There is let me just grab the pliers. We're going to get the pliers underneath and we'll squeeze under the bottom. There's two little ears, whatever you want to call them. And I should better squeeze them. It's not a great video, but you'll see yourself when you're under there. And I should better squeeze and pull it up. So what was I doing there? Look at there's tape everywhere on it. I was squeezing those two bits in. Hold on, let me get it there. And that just allowed it to pop out of its square hole. Okay, so that's the way we want. So we are going to grab the new one now, and we are going to refit it in there. Right, so you want to be holding it in this orientation, so you can see the wings either side, and you've got that little pointy bit at the top there, pointing that way, and then we put that over the top, find that little square hole in that metal bracket. Oh, there he is. He's a bit wobbly. Right. I want to break it fit, eh? There you go. Right, so he's all flush now, so he's not gonna, so if you can get the light up a little bit, George, better see, there you go, it's all flush to that metal plate there. And we've got it coming this way with that pointing that way. Now I haven't worked this out yet, but we're gonna have to put grip that onto the top of the glove box as we put it in. So let's swap back again, George. Right, so we've got to try and get that proby bit on that through there, but we've also got to get the hinge pins in. So it's going to be a bit of a game here. So I've got the two hinge pins lined up. I'm going to try and see if I can just. I'm trying to slide that right hand hinge pin in. And I get that. That's it, right? So now I've got that in. Then I've got to catch that probe there. I'm going to have to pull it gently towards me. Right, you just about got this on the camera, Joe?
There, sort of.
Right. I'm going to have to get it over there. Into that hole. Go back a little bit, George. Probably. Right. Now I've got to just find that hole in the middle of that. The trouble is, it's trying to fight you a little bit because it's trying to pull back a bit. There you go. Right, now that has actually clipped on now. That little spring there has clipped on. Have a little look at that, Joy. Right, now let's have a look. Let's shut that. We've got to push it in to get the rubbers past. It feels like it's fighting, yes, because those rubbers aren't getting past there. Alright, get those rubbers past. Yeah, I just have to wrestle that bottom hinge had come out, and I've just snapped that back in. Look at that now. Right, let's see if it closes, shall we? Oh, let's put a bit of weight in it. go. That's better, isn't it? Hope it's a little bit random, that video. It's a little bit tricky, but give it a go. You'll only have to mess about for 10 minutes and you're not getting oily. So there we go. Glove box fixed on the Freelander 2.